What about, how many of you guys have been in an argument? Do you guys, what happens in arguments? People say mean things?
Yeah. I do.
You say mean things to people in arguments?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, do you like it when people say mean things to you?
No.
No?
Then why should you do it to them?
No.
There you go. That's a very good point. So if you don't like when people say mean things to you, you probably shouldn't say mean things to other people. Right? Does that make sense? And that's a general rule in whatever you do, right? If you don't like something being done to you, you probably shouldn't do it to somebody else. Does that make sense? Okay. How about safety on the campgrounds? You guys know all the safety rules on the campgrounds?
I know one.
What is it?
That do not come in while I'm telling the owner.
Oh, how about you probably shouldn't swim unless an adult's around, right?
Yeah.
What else?
When we swim 16 or higher,
There you go. 16 or higher can't swim without an adult. Don't go into the owner's area where they live. Okay. You hear that, Lori?
Where do they live? Yes, ever.
How about you over here?
they let you in.
What are you going to say?
Or if you know them, don't wander off.
Don't wander off. That's a good one. Don't wander off. You guys know they're like, not to make you scared, but have the mountain lions, the cougars have been around here? No sightings lately?
Bears.
Bears. All right. So what do you do when you see a bear?
We have bears
What
at
do you-
my campground.
Have you seen a bear?
Yeah, my mommy showed me a picture of a bear trying to get in somebody's cabin.
Ooh. Who's seen a bear at a campsite? You seen one? With your own 2 eyes? How big was it? Were you scared?
Ooh, I seen one.
Or you're far away?
Well, it was in the forest and I was right next to the forest.
You saw one?
And I ran back to my mommy's office where she checks into people.
Oh, I see.
That's what I think you should do once we're grown up if you see a bear. That's what I think.
What's the protocol for seeing a bear? Do y'all have a
We
just get away as fast as you can?
have a bear alarm.
You have a bear alarm?
That'd be cool
I'm
if you
just
did one.
teasing an Atlanta boy.
If you had a bear one coming, trying to get in your house, the alarm would just turn on.
Yeah, then I'd jump out of my window into a mattress.
Yeah. How you guys in the back, how old are you all? How old? 12. 15?
10.
10? How old are you? 13. Okay. So for you younger kids, and you guys can just listen, you younger kids, I'm gonna talk to these,
He turned 9.
He's 11.
he's 11? Okay, cool. So let me ask you this, how many yeah,
I'd actually dismiss this group to go swimming, and you can answer.
yeah, they're perfect.
All right. Say goodbye, guys.
Well, great talking to you guys.
Adios, amigos. My bag.
Huh?
Adios, amigos. Aloha.
So let me ask you guys a question, I guess. Is there anyone that you guys have a problem with? Any one particular person? Anywhere on planet Earth?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah? What's the problem? Like, why, is there anyone that you guys don't like?
Yes.
Why don't you like them? Tell me why, just one person, tell me why you don't like them.
The things that he does.
What about you?
They're just annoying. Thinks they're better than everyone else.
They hurt me and they have an ego.
Annoying.
Okay. So what if I told you guys I could help you to not be annoyed or bothered or angry at people? But you had to change the way you looked at it. Or you have to change the way you think about it. Does that make sense? All right, so do you guys know you can't change people? Do you know for the most part you can't control other people? Because nobody's going to change or control you guys, right? All right, so with that being said, if you can't change or control anybody, can you accept that they just are who they are, and that there are people who are going to be annoying in this world, and not be mad at them? Because here's the thing. How can you help yourself and not walk around and be mad at other people? Right? Because here's what happens. When you're mad, it brings your energy level down. You see mad people, right? It's just like you're like in a bad mood, right? And a bad mood doesn't feel good, right? You want to be upbeat, but sometimes we let people get in the way of how we feel, right? Maybe somebody says something with a bad ego and it offends us, right? Or maybe, this boy is doing things that you think he should do differently, right? So one of the things so I teach a program. Let me preface that before, because you guys don't know, you have like no idea what I'm talking about. I teach a program that helps kids a little bit older than you, but some definitely 15, like middle school. But it teaches them not to be stressed out or not to be angry or not to be mad at other people, right? But what happens is you have to have these conversations in your head, right? You always have conversations with yourself whether you know it or not. Maybe it's, should I do my homework at 6 or should I do it at 8? Should I go to my friend's house tomorrow or should I go play sports, right? You always have that conversation with yourself in your head, right? All right, so now when you have that conversation, you're going to have that conversation and you're going to ask yourself, why am I angry? Right, so you're angry because this guy's he doesn't do the things that you like him to do, right? Or what did you say? He doesn't,
Just the things that he does.
the things that he does. So there's an understanding. You go, okay, I'm upset because of the things that he does. We just talked about understanding that we can't control other people. We can't control what other people do. We can't control what other people say. And we can't control what other people think. So based on that, when you think about it, there's really not a big reason to be upset, right? One of the things I want to talk to you about is accepting people for who they are, right? You know what your superpower is? And each and every one of you have it. All of us have a superpower. There's only one of you on this whole planet. In this entire universe, there's only one person like you. And you're different. You look different. You're different sizes. There's a million things different about you, right? So let's embrace that. Everybody's different. If everybody was the same, that'd be kind of boring, right? Everybody's different. So let people be different without judging them or getting upset that they don't think the way you think, or they don't do the things that you want them to do, or they don't talk the way you want them to talk, or they don't, whatever they don't do that you want them to do. One of the things I teach in my program is that you don't have to change other people. It's not your job to change other people. The only person you can really change is yourself. And that's where all your focus should be. And maybe, I don't know at what age you understand that you can't control or change other people, but once you realize that, it makes life a lot easier because you're not trying to fix people. You just let people be who they're going to be, and you don't have to change people because you don't want anybody to change you, right? Just like if I talk to the younger kids, treat people the way you want to be treated. Or if you don't like something being done to you, then don't do it to other people. If you don't want anybody trying to fix or change you, then don't try to fix or change somebody else. You guys are young, you're going to meet a whole bunch of different people. I don't know if this guy's a boyfriend or whatever, but in life we live and learn, right? And people come and go in our lives, right? And that's okay. It really is okay. So with that being said, what I want to relay is just focus on yourselves, right? Don't focus on what other people are doing or what other people are saying. Don't judge other people for being different. If you guys want to be the best that you can be at life, one of the key things you have to do is focus on yourself, right? Because you're the only person you can control. And sometimes you can't even control yourselves, right? You ever try not to eat that last piece of candy? And the urge is just like and I gotta eat it. So if you can't control yourself, how are you gonna change or control anyone else, right? The second thing I want to talk to you about is the stories in our head, right? We all tell ourselves stories. Maybe you tell yourself you're too tall, you're too short, or you're not smart enough. I don't know what stories you tell yourselves, right? But here's the thing. You believe what you tell yourself. So be careful what you tell yourself.
What do you tell yourself?
What do you tell yourselves about yourselves? Right, and, you know, you can tell by the looks on their faces. They don't even have to say anything. They say things that aren't good to yourselves. Right? It goes back to, you don't want other people saying negative things about you, right? So why would you say negative things about yourself? Inside your head, right? Because that's where all this stuff happens. You say it inside. Nobody else hears it. None of you guys had to say anything. And I know that all of you have said something negative to yourselves by the looks on your faces. No, because it's true, right? It's human nature. That's what we do. And it's okay, right? Here's what the thing too, because there's this perception, especially like with you kids in social media, that in order to be happy in life, you have to be perfect. That's the most untrue thing and now that I'm almost 50 years old, I understand even more that that's not even close to being true. Not even close to being true. You have to tell yourself, you have to remind yourself every day of how incredible you are, how amazing you are, how unique you are. Each and every one of you has whatever you love to do, that's where your life should follow. I know you're young right now, but even when I was your age, when I was younger than you, I saw this kid who lived on my corner. He was going to a football game. I was 8 years old, and he had his helmet on and his shoulder pads, and I looked at him and I was like, that's what I want to do. I knew right then and there, and I don't know what it is, because like I said, everybody's different, and don't think you're weird. There's no, that weird, I don't even like that word weird, because like I said, we're all different. We all like different things, right? But whatever it is that you love to do, you should follow that, because that's what's going to make you happy in life. It really is. And it doesn't have to be what everybody else likes. What do you genuinely like? If you could get up every morning and do what you wanted to do, what would that be if it wasn't school? Right? So you think about those things, and if that's whatever that is, if you love to do that, that's where your focus and attention should go. But a lot of times, especially when we're young, where we go to school and the popular thing is to talk about people, right? That's what we did in school. We talked about people, we joked about people. You know, maybe that person was too fat or too skinny or too old or too not smart enough, or she was too smart. We make up reasons to judge people nonstop. But we're all different, right? We're all human. We're all going to make mistakes. So a lot of times when we beat ourselves up in our head, or we get mad at ourselves, or we call ourselves stupid, or we call ourselves ugly, or whatever else we call ourselves, it's because we make a mistake. I made a mistake this morning going to Starbucks. Mistakes never happen. They never stop happening. You're going to have mistakes throughout your entire life, and that's normal. That is 100% normal. We learn more through mistakes than we do from success. Because when we make mistakes, we learn what not to do again. Right? So allow yourselves to be human. Allow yourselves to make mistakes. Don't try to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Or as we have a t-shirt over here that says, we're all perfectly imperfect. Right? We're all different. Nobody's perfect. We all have flaws. We all have things we want to change about ourselves. There are things that we love about ourselves. There are things that we don't love about ourselves. One of the most important things you'll ever do in life is fall in love with that person in the mirror. People talk about finding true love all the time. And unless you love yourself first, that's going to be hard to find. Everything in life starts with you on the inside. Everything starts on the inside. It's how you feel about yourself, how you look at yourself. And the only thing that matters is your opinion. All the opinions outside of you are just somebody's opinion. Just because something, I don't even like the words good and bad, because good and bad is just a matter of perspective, or it's a matter of the way you look at it. Right? If we're a football fan, if I'm a Packers fan and you're a Bears fan, me too, but just hypothetically, if the Packers win the game, it's good for me, it's bad for you. Right? So good and bad is just a matter of perspective. There's no definite, like, this is always good and this is always bad. You know, you guys live in the wilderness, and I remember I was watching a nature show with my daughter, and this hawk, no, it was an eagle grabbed this rabbit. And she's like, "Oh my God, the cute little rabbit's gonna die. That's terrible." I was like, "Yeah, I guess it's kind of terrible." I was like, "But the eagle also has a family that he has to feed, and that's how he eats." So it's always just a matter, there's always two sides to every story. Nothing's always good, it's always bad. It's just a matter of how you look at it. And sometimes it's neither, it just is. Right? And when I say it just is, it means there's really no reason to judge it. Like if you go outside right now and look, it's cloudy, there's snow on the ground, there's some big puddles over here to the right. You can say, "Oh my God, that's terrible. The weather sucks. It's not good." Or maybe you like to ski, and this is perfect weather for skiing. Or maybe you like to hunt, and this is perfect hunting weather or fishing weather. It all goes back to it's just a matter of perspective. It's just a matter of how you look at it. Got it? All right. Any questions?
You guys have any questions for Dorsey? Want him to help you out of any tough situations?
Yeah.
He's pretty good at that.
I guess I just want to those two, I always talk about these two voices in your head, right? And it's really just you talking to yourself. We do it all the time, right? Those two voices have to be on the same page, is all I'm saying. Fall in love with that person in the mirror. You're going to have to spend more time with you than anybody else.
That's right.
Right? You are with you all day long, every day. You have to fall in love with that person. Who wants to spend time with somebody they don't like all day?
Right. That's a good way to remember it.
Right, yeah.
It's like,
Who wants to, yeah. So fall in love with that person. And don't let anybody tell you there's nothing you can't accomplish. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. And the more you go outside of everybody's box, because not everybody thinks that everything is possible. I had a guy tell me when I was growing up, "Well, what do you think you're going to do, go to the NFL?" Yeah. But he didn't believe he could do it, so he pushed his belief on me. Anything is possible, even if it sounds absolutely crazy. Think about 100 years. 100 years ago, when there were when were airplanes invented?
I don't know, long time ago.
Before airplanes were invented, somebody said, "Hey man, I'm gonna put 200 people on a metal bird, and it's gonna fly from one side of the country to the other one." They probably put that guy in a mental institution.
And now?
And now, I flew in here last night. It sounds crazy until somebody does it. Go ahead.
We got our little guy coming on Friday night, Caden, and he's got only one little flipper arm and no arm on the other side. He paints houses. He writes with his feet. He can do amazing things. He now has got a finger, so now he's going to be doing an autograph session with him and Gilbert. So
Nice.
he's really excited. But he probably knows more about sports than any human being on the planet. Because he's so smart, he figures out different ways to do things, and he doesn't let anything get in his way. Nothing. And he doesn't have half the tools that we have,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So he never let he never let it sink in that he couldn't do anything. He thinks there's nothing he can't do.
Yeah. And you guys, believe me, you can do anything you put your mind to. Anything. You may have to work at it, but really, if you do something you love, it won't feel like work. It won't feel like work. You know, I have I've always, in my older age, I've had issues with school, like just the concept of school, because everybody learns the same thing, right? But we're all different. We don't all need the same information. I still have not used one thing from calculus. I took it 30 years ago.
Oh, Lord.
You know what I mean? It's just focus on what you love. Go to school and learn, right? But also learn about yourselves and learn what gets you excited in the morning. You ever have something to do in the morning, you get so excited you can't sleep the night before? Whatever that is, follow that. That's what you love to do. You know what you love to do because your heart and your mind, it shows you. If you can't sleep and you're excited, and that's something you love to do, you should do more of that. If you could do anything you wanted to when you woke up in the morning, what would that be? Every day, just like, this would be cool if I could just get up and do that. We'll come back to you. How about you?
Can't think of anything.
Nothing? Nobody's got passions? What would that be?
Basketball.
There you go, basketball. So what do you have?
Writing.
Writing, like novels or poetry?
Riding.
Oh, riding, not writing. Like riding a what? Like riding what?
Horse.
Nice, horse riding. That was my nickname, Dorsey the Horse, when I played for the Packers.
What?
Yeah, there you go. That's a passion. How about you?
I was gonna say hanging out with my best friend, or if we do passions, then I'd say art.
Dark. There you like to draw or paint?
I draw.
There you go. Yeah, follow that. How about you?
Skiing.
Skiing. Yeah. Guys, always do what you love. And let me tell you, so you're a basketball player. I don't know if you guys don't know about basketball, bear with me for a second. So LeBron James, when I was playing, I was with Nike, and I knew one of the reps. He lives in Atlanta with me. So probably like a few years after LeBron was in the league, he tells me the story. He said they flew LeBron out to Oregon, where the Nike headquarters are. And he said they had a break during the day. And he said, LeBron, what do you want to do? He said, can we go to the gym? He's like, all right, fine. He said 4 hours later, they're still in the gym, and LeBron's working on moves and shooting. And he goes, LeBron, it's getting kind of late. I'm getting kind of hungry. You about ready? And LeBron says 500 more shots, and then we can go. He didn't do that because he had to. There's got to be a love for it. For him, it didn't seem like work. Because if it felt like work, when that guy was like, we should go, he'd have been like, oh yeah, let's go. Because I don't know, like if your parents are at work and if somebody says, you can have a half a day, let's go, they're gonna leave. If you're doing something you love to do, if you're drawing, right, and you're into it, nobody's gonna have to make you do that. Nobody's gonna have to force you to do it. Nobody forced me to play football. I love doing it, so I did it. Yeah, so follow your passions.
And you can have lots and lots of them.
Yes. And then the one thing I want to leave you guys on is that Nothing in life is certain. All right, nothing is certain. And that's okay as well. I want you to fall in love with the unknown. We have no idea where our lives are going to go. You have no idea what direction you're going to go in. Follow your passion, and you'll end up there. But chances are we don't know what that is. And a lot of times, if you follow your passion, and this is why I'll talk to you about this later too, you'll realize that sometimes we don't know what's best for ourselves in the long run. We don't know. We just don't know. When I got drafted by Green Bay, I thought it was the worst thing in the world. Because I was like, I don't want to go to Wisconsin. It's cold. They suck. They hadn't been in the playoffs in how many years?
Oh, 29.
I wanted to go. I'm from New York. I wanted to play for the Giants because I thought that would be best for me. I'm like, if I went to the Giants, this would be ideal for me. I thought I knew what was best for me. And if you call it God or the universe or wherever you want to call it, they had other plans, and that their plan was better than my plan. I ended up going to, winning the Super Bowl with the Packers, playing in 2 of them. So I say all that to say, we really don't know what's going to happen. Decide what you want to do, head in that direction, and see what happens. Your plans are not always going to go as planned, is the long short of it, right? We're going to make plans, and we're going to hope that they succeed. But a lot of times, things are not going to go as planned. Don't get frustrated. Say, remember that football guy? He told me this one day. He was like, you know what? Things aren't going to go the way you expect them to go all the time. And that's okay. Don't get frustrated. Don't get bothered. And I want to leave you with, hopefully you can remember most of the stuff I said. I know it won't all stick. But if there's one thing I could leave you with, is to make sure you love the person in the mirror. You're going to have to spend the rest of your life with you, 24/7. If you want to be happy in life, you got to be happy with that person. And if you're not happy with that person, figure out what it is that is going to make you happy and try to do that. But it also goes back to, remember, just focusing on yourself, fixing yourself, following your passion, and not worrying about or focusing on what other people are doing. Right? If you want to play basketball, it doesn't matter what the other basketball players are doing. If you want to get better, you should probably play more. And I don't know anything about you at all. I'm just saying, in general, for all of you, they say if you want to be an expert at something, you have to do it for 10,000 hours. Albert Einstein said that. To be an expert at anything, you have to do it for 10,000 hours. It's a lot of time, but you guys are very young, and you have a lot of time to do it. So you can be an expert at anything you want, anything you put your mind to. Anything is possible. And if anybody tells you it's not, you shouldn't be around that person. Because first of all, they're a liar. And second of all, they're just not good for you. You want to surround yourself with people who are like yourselves, have goals, maybe other basketball players, maybe other artists, other skiers, whatever. What did you say?
I didn't say
You didn't say anything. Neither one of you said anything, right? All right. What did you say? Writing, not writing. I've been writing like movie scripts as of late. That's why when you said writing, I thought I heard writing. But yeah, do it if you love it. And that's all I have to say about that. So go enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to hold you up. I know you guys don't want to sit and listen to an old man talk all day.
It was good, huh?
Yeah, but hopefully you can take some of the stuff with you.
And you know what the coolest thing you can do is, Dorsey and I were talking about this all the time too, is when you get it is when you reteach it, if you teach it to somebody else.
Yes.
So if you can remember just one thing and teach one of those kids that are in kids camp something that you maybe picked up here, can you imagine how great that will be for you? Every time you say it to somebody else, it
Yeah.
helps reinforce it and it helps you remember, oh yeah, You gotta worry about me.
Yeah. So like if one of your friends are bugging out or having a bad day because of something that they can't control, go, hey, settle down. You can't control any of that stuff. Why are you tripping? Right? And then it'll help you. It'll help. What it does is it helps you remind yourself that, okay, once you get mad or once you get uncomfortable, ask yourself why, and then ask yourself whether or not you can control or change it. That'll help alleviate a whole lot of stress. But the first step is you have to be aware that you're upset. And the second step is to have that conversation with those voices in your head. Why am I upset? Because the weather is bad. Can I control the weather? I can't. So how's being mad going to help? It's not. So what's the point?
Can you ever control your boyfriend, though, David?
You can't control your boyfriend. You can't change your boyfriend, or your husband, or your wife, or your parents, or your dog, or your cat,
The dog.
or your little brother or little sister. You can't control. You know you can control? You. And sometimes we can't even do that.
That's right.
So if you can't control yourself, how are you going to control somebody else? Does all this stuff make sense? All right. Well, good.
So
Well, hopefully I
go-
helped in
go
some.
reteach, and then you get redemption tickets for everything that you teach. Do you guys know about the redemption program?
Yeah.
Did you see anything in there cool that you kind of want to earn? Yeah, no.
Earbuds, there you go.
Earbuds, yeah. Hey, and we got.
And tell
some
your
other
parents,
cool
too.
things that we haven't pulled. Yeah, definitely tell your.
Yeah, tell your parents.
We have some really cool things we haven't brought out either yet, like the PlayStation 4 little cards. We've got games for, what are all those other, like,
Xbox?
yeah,
iPad?
Yeah, the i things, yeah.
Oh, no, I think
Those
about,
cards, you know, that. Apple cards, yeah, all those kinds of things.
I was going to say we. No, you're not talking about we. Not we, okay, all right.
All right, thanks you guys, you did great. Give
Yes,
us
thank you so much.
a round of